I'll argue because you know it's going to be an unhappy ending, so you can console her at the end.
Well, that's
and then you get a happy ending.
Whoa, first date, Jill. I mean, you filthy woman. All right, everybody, it is another episode of our podcast here, upgruv team. I'm Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastrick.
I'm Jill Leonard.
And we're talking here. That's the name of the podcast. All right, guys, I got a complaint. I'm going to start off the podcast with airing grievances.
How strange.
I know, so unique for me. I'm going to propose that we now, since there seems to be a great debate in our country about the rule of law, that we in Pittsburgh take up a consideration to have a license that you take a test for to drive when construction season starts. Because I have already, through a couple of days of nice weather, grown incensed with the people who I feel are not qualified to take a vehicle that weighs a couple of tons and steer it around the city when the city has all of 3 roads that do not have some sort of construction.
Well, I would back that only if you add when it's raining and when it's snowing.
Oh, so you're suggesting maybe we have different tests for all the seasons in Pittsburgh?
Absolutely.
Oh, I agree with that. So you could possibly be driving in the summer, but not in the winter.
Sometimes.
I like that.
I would never pass the winter test.
You wouldn't even take the winter test.
Right.
How would you get there?
True.
You'd never get there. You'd have
That's
to walk.
true. Yeah, because even if I would drive in the snow, which I won't, it would just be just a nightmare. Like, I probably wouldn't make it 2 blocks before crashing.
I was at you are very
You
petrified
cannot
of
be
this.
that bad.
I'm terrified of driving
Really?
in the snow.
But
Terrified.
how heavy of a snow does it have to be?
Anything on the road.
Oh, my God.
I lose my mind. Chris, we were going to an event the one night, and
I remember that.
There was we were going maybe 5 miles. We were going from Aspen Mall to Oakland, and there was just a mild trace of snow on the road in spots. And I was like, "Can you please pick me up? Please, please, please! I'll do anything."
Rob, there was no snow.
I don't want to make fun of that because we've all at one point had to get over a sort of, it's snowing, we have to drive in it. Yes.
Right, exactly.
And look, everybody has weird phobias. Mm-hmm. Not me. I'm just that courageous. But
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say that weird.
Yeah. But you've grown up here.
Yes.
You went to school up at Penn State where there was snow.
Yes.
I'm shocked that you've not gotten over. I know people that don't like it. They'd rather not drive in the snow.
Oh, certainly. I'd rather not at all.
But you are really like, you don't want to come into work. Like,
There's a phobia.
It's debilitating fear.
Did somebody you know have a big accident in the snow?
I was in 2, and they were very minor accidents within a week of each other when I was around 21.
Oh, okay.
One time, I wasn't driving in either case, but the one time my aunts and I were going to Grove City shopping, and the roads got suddenly icy. You know, it was like 50 at home, but it was, closer to freezing there, maybe 40 at home. And we slid off 79 and went over a little hillside.
I was going to say, I think a 22-degree drop between here and Grove City would be a end of the days type thing.
Well, more like
disturbing.
probably 40 degrees. But then about a week later, I was going back to Penn State, I think, to celebrate New Year's Eve. And my friend and I went off the road near Johnstown and over a little hillside. So I just haven't been able to get over it after that.
That's fine. I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know where the political debate in our country is going, but the next president, if they want to institute a limit on construction that's allowed in any part of the country that I'm living in, they will have my vote.
Now, what happened today, or what happens
first of all, I live in the South Hills. I should clarify that, which does tend to be construction headquarters in Western Pennsylvania. It's just there are construction crews seemingly everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not I don't know what they're doing anymore. I mean, we had one in our parking lot here the other day. I don't know what's being done. Like, the roads aren't getting wider. The roads aren't paved better. So I guess they're doing maintenance. But today what happened was there was construction steering everybody to sort of one part of town. Then I got to that part of town, and then somebody was trying to make a Pittsburgh left. You jag off. You shouldn't be making a Pittsburgh left. But they're making a Pittsburgh left. They're trying to make it. They see a tractor trailer trying to make the left or trying to make a right. There's like 4 cars in front of me. I stop probably 4 car lengths behind the last car that's in front of me because thinking you're going to need to back up because nobody's going, right?
Right.
Well, nobody moves. By the 3rd light cycle, people start going around me and I'm like, you know what? Screw you. I'm turning around and I'm going the back way because this is insane. I'm trying to be the polite thing. And let's face it, I don't exactly like people. I'm not exactly...
No.
Yes, I'm not one of these people that generally goes, I'm going to think for the betterment of mankind here, right? but it's because when I do it, it's not rewarded. And that's when I thought, driving back, I thought there should be a test for people of when they can drive. Because the more aggressive drivers tend to come out when it's either, as Jill said, very bad, or when it's nice out. And the first 2 weeks of consistent, nice, sunny weather in Pittsburgh are as predictable as the rain that comes with the arts festival. It's aggressive behavior. It's people thinking they know a shortcut that nobody else knows. That's my favorite. Oh, I know a short. Really? You think it's the shortcut we're all trying to take to get around the construction? You think it's possibly the same one?
Yeah.
So I just said, let's take a test. And it'll be a very simple test. It'll be 3 questions. First question is the sky above you? My guess is half of the people will get that wrong because their answer will be, what do you mean? And I'll be like, all right, you don't get to drive until it gets to rain. Second question will be like, is a candy bar something you would eat with a fork and a knife? And if they answer yes, I'd be like, all right, you do not get to go. Third question would be, spell your own name. And when they get that wrong, I think it'd be down to 4 people driving. Because I'm pretty convinced that the people driving this time of year are complete morons.
I see your point.
Yeah. So
I agree. I come in on 28, and what you do as well,
I do,
Jill.
yes.
And I find that you either have people who, and the worst time to drive on 28 is not in the mornings, daily commutes. Actually, it's fine.
Yes.
The worst time is at night or on the weekends when people who do not normally travel 28 travel 28. They're horrible at it.
it's a road.
I know that, but it's merging. People have no concept of how to merge.
How do we not know how to merge in a city when there's nothing but merging to do?
Well, you know what? You have it. The problems happen when you have a mix of people who are aggressive and know the road versus people who have no idea.
But how do you merge?
Going.
Like the way I was taught to merge was you go up to the point until you cannot legitimately do anything but merge, and you merge. I was never taught I'm going to stop 100 yards ahead of where I should merge because I need to look for an opening. I think that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, there's two kinds of merges. There's one that's a normal merge. Then there's a construction merge.
Right.
The construction merge, I think that's where problems come in because you're supposed to use both lanes to the merge point.
Yes.
But then you've got a huge line of traffic of people that are pissed that you're using this shortcut lane.
Right.
It's not. It's
People
supposed
don't
to be
know the
used.
general rules about lanes anymore. Jill, what was the story you were telling me? Was it today about you were driving in the right lane and somebody was like aggravated by you?
Yeah, I was driving into 28. There was residual traffic because there was an accident by the Highland Park Bridge, and
there's always an accident.
It's
always an accident.
Daily thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially on Route 28
because that's a merge point.
So I was driving in, and I actually waited to come to work because there was a lot of traffic. So
and
I came
threat
in
of
a
snow
little
in
later.
November, and she was just being prepared.
That's right. I was just being cautious. And so I was coming in, and there was still some residual traffic. It was moving, but it was stop and go in places. And this guy in this maroon Mustang I was in the right lane, and he was just on my ass the entire 6 miles to work. And I was in the right lane. He could have passed me. But
what? And why didn't he pass you?
I don't know. He was. I guess he liked riding my ass. Yeah.
And why do you have a Mustang in Pittsburgh? Where are you going to drive?
It was a convertible Mustang.
Convertible Mustang. How many days a year can you actually use the convertible in Pittsburgh? The day we're taping this, it's getting up to 88. That's a roll up your windows and put the air conditioner on type.
Hell yeah.
That's a good point. A convertible in Pittsburgh.
And our roads, by the way,
we have a coworker who has a convertible.
That's fine.
That we know of, and the great guy. But
what
are you doing with it?
Our roads are not meant for sports cars.
That's true.
There are potholes.
Right.
If you
wanted
to make a real investment, I would say a tank. A tank, maybe. And if you want to have a convertible tank, that's fine. Just pop the lid open, get some air. But
I might drive a convertible tank in the snow.
There you go.
Maybe I need to look into that. Get into an old army tank. Drive around town.
Yeah.
I bet the gas mileage blows, though.
Well, I'd like to see where you're parking the thing, too.
That's a good point. You need about 10 spaces.
I'll just park right over top of your...
Although you just drive on top of cars.
No, Chris, we have a lot more these days. So, that's my chief complaint. But I was thinking, it's summer movie season, and I got to ask. I know this is a sore subject with Jill because she doesn't see movies.
That's true.
These are longer.
That's not true. She has gone to the movie theater, and what have you seen?
I've seen Jackass at the movies. I've seen Borat. I think the most recent thing I saw in the theater was Daddy's Home with Adam Sandler. I think that was Adam Sandler. Will Ferrell. One of them.
Yeah.
Any movie with either of those.
No, you know
what
it was? It was Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Those three selections lead me to think your decision making disqualifies you from ever owning a tank.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. She sees Borat and Jackass. I go see Schindler's List.
Yes. Neither one would I take a date on. But,
no.
But the problem with summer movie season is it is a tough time to take dates to movies.
Do you take a date? Okay, so I haven't dated in like 25 years.
Yes.
But you've been married for 32, right? Kidding.
But do you take when you go on a first date, do you take her to the
I don't go to a
movies?
first
or
movie.
him?
I don't go to a date first movie.
Now, why not?
Well, because I feel like the first date you should have. First of all, I think the first date should be like casual, like meet up for some drinks or a light appetizers or something, but not something where you can have a little bit of a conversation. Feel like if you want to make the step towards meeting up again in a more proper date. But like the first date, it's like you don't know what movie they may want to see. Generally, there's a congeniality towards it, like, hey, you want to go see this movie? And if they're excited about the first date, they're going to say yes, but they may not want to see the movie.
That's a very good point.
If the date's terrible, then you don't. If it's a movie you want to see, you may be clouded by that date for the rest of your life to see the movie. Also, like, let's just say, how do you judge if the movie was good or the date was good? And I know what Jill's thinking. I think I know what Jill's thinking.
He saw the twinkle in my eye.
Let's just say some of us are gentlemen, Jill. We were raised as God-fearing Catholics, like we were, and plus you also might show up at a theater that like doesn't have like the proper movie necessities. Like, what if the day you show up to the theater there are no snow caps or
you
milk
have to
duds?
have snow caps?
Then you're like, we got to go to another theater, and she's like, why? You're crazy. I'm like, what kind of movie theater would not have snow caps? And she's like, dude, it's just a movie. I'm here to hang out with you. Yeah, but you're missing the principle of the whole point. If a movie theater doesn't have snow caps, we cannot be safe in this movie theater.
Yeah, and that's a separate conversation.
And then you're the crazy guy.
You have to have Well, first of all, you have to have popcorn. That's it.
Yeah.
Second of all, you got to have Junior Mints. I know it's an old school treat.
Well, you have to have the option.
You need the option.
And
definitely snow caps.
Yeah.
Come on.
But then
I don't think I've ever had snow caps.
Your first date.
What?
No, I don't think I have.
Your first date, you're not comfortable with each other, so you might like, well, I don't want to eat too much in front of her, or I don't want to, or like, if I'm chomping down on some like milk duds, I'm gonna,
pull my tooth out,
and then I'm bleeding all over myself, and that's always a bad date every time I've tried it.
Yeah, well, there's a guy in Texas who basically took a girl out on a date. Story is, they went out to see a movie. They went to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Okay. Did she pick that?
I don't know. All it says is they went to see Guardians of the Galaxy. He met her online, and so they went to see it.
Wait, why that face? I know. I got friends that were married from meeting online.
Okay. So she...
By the way, people, you're listening to the podcast for upgruv, which you can find online at upgruv.com or at any of our apps. We encourage online interaction.
Yes.
Despite what Chris is saying right now about creeps.
I'm just questioning the online dating. But then again, it's all a crapshoot.
You haven't dated since Family Ties.
So true. So true. But anyway... So they went to see this movie. She starts texting in the movie. This is him saying this. She starts texting all the time in the movie. She says...
This is during the movie, not like the...
Well, according to this, this is during the movie.
Okay.
And she wouldn't stop texting. He basically said to her, maybe you should go outside. She did and kept going. And so she went home, and now he's suing her. He's suing her.
You can sue for bad dates?
He wants the $17.31 back that he paid.
Wait a minute. The court fees have to be 3 times.
Here's my question.
More than that.
Yeah.
$17.31 cannot possibly be a single ticket, right?
Right. I was thinking it was 2.
How is he suing to get his own money back, first of all? He should only be suing for the money that he paid to her.
Is he suing for lack of enjoyment of the date?
Well, I don't know. That
Emotional
part,
distress?
I don't see that part in there. But he called her apparently. Now, version of it is a little different. She says she only texted a couple of times. She was helping a friend going through a breakup.
Okay, well, hold on. Let's break that right there. So I want to vote here. Let's break this down via vote with the three of us. All right, I'm Rob Rossi.
Chris Pastrick.
Jill Leonard.
And we're talking about this story that you can find on upgruv.
Yep.
About the date gone poor at the movies. Mm-hmm. And so let's take a vote there. The texting while the movie's going on.
Oh.
I vote. If they literally come before the movie and say, turn off your phones, I turn off my phone.
Yeah, hell no.
So I'm voting that's a strike against her in this.
Absolutely, hell no. You do not text during the movie.
Not during a date.
Not during a date.
No, wait a minute. You're
text
couching
during a date.
that one.
Yeah, she should. I wouldn't have texted on a date, but the last
I'll
one
go with that too. That's wrong to text on a date.
Okay, but that's a separate issue, though. Do you text in a movie theater?
No, I mean, not typically, but if I will check my phone.
You will check your phone?
I turn the brightness way down, and I will check it once in a while.
But okay, all right. That just goes to my you've paid all this money for a movie. Why are you not paying attention?
No,
I am.
I agree, but I think let's score this based off points for her or him.
So that's a point for him.
Yes,
right?
a point for him.
That's a point
two,
for him.
And you're giving him. So that's 3 points.
Yes.
For
3
him.
points for him. All
Yes.
right,
Okay.
I'm going to keep track of this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So now, what's the next step here? So she was texting during the movie, and then now what else?
He told her you should go outside. She did. She kept going.
I put that as a point for her. That's bad form on him.
On him.
I don't think on a first date you need to be so smarmy. You could say it differently. You could be like, I came here on a date with you, and you could have broken it a different way than maybe you should go outside. That's kind of seeming like a d-bag.
I think you could have. You could even just not even be that direct and say, "Look, is there something wrong?" And just you were on your phone.
Oh yeah, that's even better. It makes you seem concerned.
Yeah, is there something wrong? Because then that kind of sends a message like,
yeah. Hey, is everything okay? Do we need to go?
Jill sold me on this one.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a vote for her.
All
So
right.
3 votes for her.
3 votes
Yeah.
for her. Also, mental note: if I fake empathy.
Yes.
Women might like that.
you'll get more. Yeah.
Nice.
See, I'm 39 and single now, so I got to start thinking about these
Do
things.
I have to be your Francisco Cervelli? I'm going to have to wear a bathrobe.
We have to do this during the summer because I can't go on dates in the winter because you won't be available.
That's right.
She will by text message.
Yeah,
via text
message.
So she basically takes off, and she takes the ride that they both came in and left.
Whoa. She drove.
She apparently drove to the movie theater. She drove them both there.
Oh, this is interesting.
Leaving him without a ride.
Now, I am perfectly fine with not driving on the date. Although it's interesting to me because I would think most first dates, even though I'll always offer, hey, when can I pick you up? Usually countered by, why don't we just meet? Because it's a first date. You want that option of being able to leave in your own car.
I guess.
But either way, I would say it's a strike against her to just leave.
Yes.
Because you're now stranding somebody there.
Yeah, to me that's a hint. That's a him mark.
Yeah, I agree.
She could have waited in the lobby.
She could have waited.
My only caveat, she could have waited. I don't. Where in Texas was this? Does this say?
Don't. You're getting real specific here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did she leave on a horse? Is that what you're about to ask?
No. I was just going to say with now the
Partner,
prevalence.
we're done.
No, I was going to say with the prevalence now of Uber and Lyft and ride-sharing services, it's a little easier for somebody not to be stranded.
It is easier.
But it's still poor form to leave somebody.
It's sending a definitive
Right.
message.
Yes.
Right, and that doesn't say anything about how he got home. So maybe part of the 1731, he had to get an Uber home.
Maybe.
Who knows? Although
Right.
that's a pretty cheap Uber.
Now,
but.
so what's next now?
So then she says that she has actually planned to file a protective order against this guy for contacting her little sister to get the money for the movie ticket. To me, that's a strike for her. I mean, it's a mark in her column.
I would say,
Hell yeah.
'cause that's
I would
insane.
say that may be calling the contest for her via sudden knockout.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you don't contact somebody that's a friend or a relative about a bad first date unless you know that friend or relative or you know the family. And the only way you would contact them is like, hey, you set us up. I just want to let you know it didn't go so well. So, but in no way do you be like, hey, I need to get my nearly $18 back from your sister. That's creepy too. How did he find this person?
Well, I have no idea.
So he
It doesn't
stalked
say
her.
that.
He stalked her on
Yes.
the face machine.
Right, probably.
Yeah, he's going to have to really do something to stay in this fight. Like his next move has to be a counter move.
Well, I'm ready to call it for her
Yeah.
because, look, you know what? You go out on a date. You take the risk of it being a bad date. He took the risk. You know, he spent the money on her. It wasn't worthwhile. But that's money that he lost.
Yeah, I feel like you don't get the recoup for a bad date.
No, absolutely not.
No, and to just, he's clearly just being an asshole, suing her for $17.31. He's being a douche.
Yeah, it leads me to think she was texting during the date because he had been displaying douchery before that.
Maybe she's texting, "Get me the
yes.
hell."
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
This guy who doesn't even own a car and hasn't bathed for 3 days is going to kill me.
Now you're putting things into the story that really.
I am.
Okay,
but I think we can just all agree that we side with her.
Yeah.
I also, though, generally would advise people against going to see a movie on a first date. I don't think it's the way to go.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie on a first date.
I don't think you've ever seen a movie.
The movies, the handful of movies I've seen in the theater weren't on first dates.
Yeah, I used to think it was a good idea, but I'll tell you what, you've convinced me now. I think about it, a coffee would be better.
Yeah.
Just meeting up at
we
a
need to
public
ask
location.
we've got interns now at upgruv, the summer interns.
Poor
We got yeah, really. We have to ask them about, first of all, we have to ask HR if we can ask them. But then if HR gives us the approval, we have to ask them about what it's like to date as a younger person now, because it's much different than when I was younger and when you were younger. And, because, do they go to movies on dates? Do they? I mean, I'd imagine they barely go to movies, right? Like they.
I
can't
don't know.
they?
I think
Can't they just pirate movies or whatever?
What you have no idea who's at the movie theater, Jill.
I do. No.
You know where
she just goes and hangs out outside.
You know where you should really go on a first date is a pirate game, because you can buy really cheap seats because nobody's going. And then get really good seat, look like a hero, be like, hey, look, I know how to sneak down.
Now, I have had first dates at pirate games.
Somehow I knew you would.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, that seems like, isn't that the equatable of a movie, though? I mean, that's
no, I'll argue because you know it's going to be an unhappy ending, so you can console her at the end.
Well, that's
and then you get a happy ending.
Whoa, first date, Jill. I mean, you filthy woman.
Well, what do you wear to a first date? Like, if you're a guy, do you wear a romper?
Well, if I'm going out with Jill, it's a different story at this point. So,
I mean, do you wear a romper?
I'm having a bad visual.
I cannot imagine me ever wearing a romper. No.
No, you don't want to take part of that?
Those don't even look like they're comfortable to get in. I don't even know if I have the athleticism to get into a romper. Like, how do you put a romper on?
I don't know. The ones we saw that were on our website.
Like, you have to step into them and then pull them over, right?
But I always thought they were long, like a single unit thing. But these were like shorts.
I never thought of them at all until you brought them up.
That's disgusting.
It's shorts romper.
But is that really going to happen? I mean, are people really going to wear that?
I mean, they're popular right now for women. I would not date a guy who was wearing a romper.
I just can't see any man going, that's a good idea.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean,
I think anatomically men would have reasons not to wear the romper.
I would agree with that.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Well,
to be fair, we're both men, so we might have a different view on this.
Maybe.
How are you going to hide some stuff?
Yeah, like...
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're happy to see somebody, it's going to be a little harder to conceal.
There might be things just, there might, depending on those buttons, they could be...
Well, I mean...
Hi, Rob, I see it's a left
Yes,
day.
yeah.
Well, the romper's...
So that's what you meant by Pittsburgh left, Chris. I'm sorry.
The rompers that we have on upgruv come with zippers.
Ouch.
So...
Oh, no.
So, I mean, how easy?
I've just figured out how to do jeans. Like, I don't want to start adding rompers.
You guys might have figured out by now, I'm a chick. So, even though Rob says I'm manlier than some guys he's met. But anyway, so,
certainly more aggressive on dates.
There you go, right?
So, I say I wear a romper to Kennywood. For some reason, I pair rompers and Kennywood. So I go into the bathroom.
Because rompers are what 6-year-olds wear.
Yes.
So
because
it makes sense.
For some reason, I pair rompers with Miss Molly. I see Jill and I see Chris.
Wow, is he dating himself?
Yeah, really. So for some reason, say I'd wear a romper to Kennywood. I have to pee.
Right.
So I go
Not
to
because she's wearing a romper.
Can't you just go in the Raging Rapids like everybody else?
Yeah, really. I've never done that, but that's a good idea. So you go to the bathroom at Kennywood.
It's a terrible idea. You're in a boat with other people.
But beyond that, what if you don't get under the...
Yeah.
What if you started
What
out...
the hell is that?
I meant to get under the...
That's right. Damn it.
I thought twisting the... Nah, never mind.
Rob, you got wet, but in a very strange place.
Yeah.
No, I see why they have height limits on this.
Yes. So I'm in the bathroom at Kennywood and I
Right.
have to pee. I'm wearing a romper, so I have to take it down.
The whole way.
The whole way. So now I'm sitting like, hey, maybe I don't wear a bra at Kennywood that day. So now I'm sitting in a bathroom stall at Kennywood, bare chested with the romper
I gotta
hanging
be
on the
honest.
floor.
I think if
I
I'm a
would wear
woman,
a bra
I'm
to-
never using a bathroom at Kennywood. Like I'm just
How?
like
How can you be there for 12 hours and not
You gotta
ever
use
use
the
the bathroom?
I think I might invent a reason to leave the park.
Bathrooms at Kennywood are perfectly
Are they?
fine. But what I'm saying, back to my point is
To use or to be like de-rompering in?
no, to use.
To use.
But I mean, I wouldn't want to be
Like, what
half
happened?
naked.
And
in
your
Kennywood.
point is you don't want to be naked, right?
But
Well,
guys, if they have a zipper, they have it easy. You just walk in, pull it out like you're wearing a pair of jeans, pee, and go on your merry way.
But here's the question though. Okay, so for a romper, you zip it. Does it zip the whole way down?
No,
Or how
I-
do you zip a romper? I don't understand.
I assumed that, and I
I thought
don't
they
know.
were buttons. The
Oh,
romper.
Yeah,
buttons?
I think they're usually buttons, but usually there's something on the side. But I figure guys just unzip like they unzip pants.
Oh, so it has a zipper like normal pants.
That's what I assume.
I think though, here's my other problem with the romper is like, let's say you get into the sort of the heat of the moment on a date. Let's say you get a date and you have a romper, and for some reason you've
Wow.
worn it and it's
I
going
would not
well.
think that would even
I
happen.
wouldn't think. Well, look, I mean, Donald Trump's the
Like
president.
if you wear
so
a
there's
romper to a first date, you're leaving the movie
Yeah.
theater.
yeah,
by
well,
yourself,
actually,
yeah.
that's when I would say go to a movie because you want something to do when she leaves. But like, so let's just say she's all over and she tears your romper off, and then like you don't like if she just tears your button shirt, you still have your jeans. You can borrow a t-shirt. Like here, it's like the whole outfit's gone. You're just walking
true.
around, looking around like Borat, basically.
Yeah.
Like, also, it's a romper.
Right.
Like, at
That's
what point would
insane.
you wear a romper if you're a man?
The name itself is wrong.
Yes.
Like, do I look good in this romper?
because it makes you think
doesn't sound right.
It makes you think a kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just had this image of like people I know wearing rompers and then sandals with socks because those are the type of people I know. And I honestly, I'd probably try to end them.
Now, see, I would wear that to like a Halloween
Yes,
party
at
as
Halloween.
a joke.
Right?
But
Yes, yes. If you want to wear like a star-spangled romper to like a 4th of July party, just as like a gag, as long as you bring shorts and a t-shirt.
now rompers, isn't that pretty much what wrestlers wear?
No, I think
Isn't it
wrestlers
just
wear
like-
like tights,
It's like
but
singlets.
also,
But it's like a.
but they're first of all, it's fake, Chris. It's all, and it's all.
tell me that,
It's all.
Rob.
It's all for entertainment.
Don't tell me that.
So, you saying we should make Justin LeBar wear a romper one day?
Ooh, an upgruv romper,
Now,
orange.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be.
An orange romper.
I think we've established that we don't just need a test for driving during the seasons. We need a test for if you're allowed outside wearing clothes during the season.
I think we need a test for a lot of things.
America is becoming a land of a lot of needing to pass a lot of things just to move around. This is upgruv's team with Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastrick.
I'm Jill Leonard.
She doesn't see movies, but if you get her on a date, boys. Anyway, yeah. And this is We're Talking Here, the podcast. Thank you for listening. Please go to our site, check out upgruv.com. All kind of cool stories. We just talked about a few of them. What else you guys got this week?
I don't know. Do you want to talk about that baby Kessel?
Yeah, so
How about that?
I love this.
You calling Kessel a baby?
I already see the disgust on Rob's face.
No. I don't knock Phil.
No,
I'll
you
defend
know.
Phil.
Hey, you know I like Phil. I dream about Phil.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
You
I
and
have
your
odd
weird-
dreams
you and-
about Phil
You and your
Kessel.
weird toenail fetish with Phil Kessel.
It was fingernails. It wasn't
Fingernails.
toenails. I don't know if I don't even. As much as I like
I've
Phil
got this
Kessel,
image of Phil Kessel in a romper and it like eating a cheeseburger and it's just like really disturbing.
No,
me.
this
So-
is actually
it
a really.
actually kind of turns me on.
Oh my god!
Well, Phil, if you want to get into Kennywood, I just got to tell you, be careful.
It'll end good, but
Yeah, it'll end good, but that Raging Rapids could be a bit sticky.
Yeah.
but no, this is a really nice story. It's actually a nice ode to Phil Kessel.
Yeah. So a couple, I believe they were from the Butler area because the baby.
She's
was
getting
born.
really nervous. Like she's like,
Yeah.
she's playing with her jewelry.
You got me
like
all
Phil
hot and
Kessel,
bothered.
yeah.
Oh, she's definitely
Yeah.
flustered.
So I assume they're from around Butler because
Right, Butler Memorial.
the baby was born at Butler Memorial, but they named him Kessel. They named their new son Kessel.
Oh,
after
that's
Phil.
awesome.
Now he was born on Mother's Day, fittingly enough.
Yeah.
They put her, and she knew it was kind of going to happen. They said if they didn't think they were going to have a boy, but if they did, they were going to name him Kessel.
What's their last name?
See, you're killing me now.
I forget.
Yeah. See, I think that's one of those names that it's cute, but it's like if you're going to name like Crosby can be a name.
Yeah.
Like Kessel is a bit of a.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. Well,
Yeah, I think it's
so. They
cool.
put her in bed number 81.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now that sounded. She said it was an act. It wasn't. They didn't ask for 81. They just.
I
put
would
her
hope
in
that the hospital would have thought, yes, let's put her in 81.
Their last name is Hillman, so his name is Kessel Ryan Hillman.
That's actually kind of cool.
I think it works.
You know, it works for a name like Kessel. Like if you were going to be like Palomalu Ryan Hillman, that would be more difficult.
Yes, I agree.
You know.
Well, and I think he was born somewhere around like 6:33 or something like that. And the winning goal that he scored on Monday was at 6:50.
Oh,
30,
that's
33
cool.
or 35. It was really within 2
that's
seconds.
Awesome. So I've thought if I ever have a son, I might consider trying to pitch the name of Holden Jagger, based off my favorite literary character and my favorite rock star. But I would assume my wife would be like, no, it's enough that I've let you
impregnate me.
We're not doing that. But I'm a big fan of distinctive names.
Yeah,
on kids.
no,
I think it like encourages your kid to be an individual.
I agree.
So.
I agree.
I think Holden's actually a good name, and I'm pretty conventional when it comes to names.
Yeah, there was remember there was a big thing about like what names were losing popularity now, and I know that it's the one that was like gaining popularity was the actor's name who played Darth whatever his name.
Oh, Darth Maul.
Not Darth Maul.
No,
I think we're dating ourselves now too.
Darth Maul's not that old.
No, who was the new?
I'm guessing it's
who
not
was the
Vader.
new Star Wars villain? Vader's grandson, whatever.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And I had mistakenly thought that Kylo was the popular name.
No, it's Ren.
It's Ren, yeah. Because I'm thinking Kylo is not a name. Like Ren, I can see.
Like
Kylo,
W-R-E-N, like the bird?
It's R-E-N.
R-E-N, yeah.
Oh, just R-E-N.
Yeah.
I think it's R-E-N.
R-E-N.
I mean, that's Kylo Ren. It was in the movie was R-E-N.
Yes. So,
I don't like that.
but I think it's cool to name your child after an athlete. I mean, we're about a year removed from Evgeny Malkin having his first child with his wife, and they named, I believe it was
Nikita, right?
Nikita, yeah. Nicholas. He said, I'll go by Nicholas in the U.S., but Nikita, which is a cool name.
Nikita.
Yeah.
Like Khrushchev.
Yes. I'm trying to like preserve Nikita for my goddaughter. They're a couple months apart. I'm like, I gotta.
Oh, yes.
Well, apparently
Make it happen.
Apparently, it seems the names for girls right now is Emma, Olivia, Sophia, and Ava.
I feel like Emma's always up there. Like it's like Emma's been there since Friends. Wasn't that the Friends baby?
Yes,
Emma?
Rachel's
Yes,
baby.
you're right.
Yeah. I would go away from a name that's certainly super popular.
Now, for guys, it's Noah, Liam, Mason, and Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob's kind of like Emma. Jacob's always around there.
Yeah.
Has was there like was there a surge in like I remember growing up and getting to college and meeting some girls named Reagan who I assumed were like
from The Exorcist.
Do
you mean from the president?
I actually assumed it was their. They might have been born during when President Reagan was very popular, and like, hey, it could be a female's name, and you weren't obviously going to name anybody after the successor to Reagan, but then I didn't see any Clintons, and I didn't the next name, but there weren't like Obamas. You don't see like no, and I don't imagine anybody's going to be naming Trump.
Maybe you're going to see.
You might see some Pences.
Maybe
you might see some Pence. No, but I mean, like if there becomes a President Pence, Pence could be a name. Like
that'll never happen.
Never. But I'm just saying, like, what people become names is interesting. Like, I would imagine there are a lot more Sydneys in the Western Pennsylvania area.
I would think so.
Now.
I would absolutely think so. Well, did Mario go up in the?
I don't know. That'd be a good
90s?
one to check on. As we have a story budget meeting for upgruv.com during the Upgruv podcast, that would be interesting. Like, what are the like? Is Yager like a Yags?
Yeah, yeah.
I am Yags. How are you?
And then, like Barry in the 90s?
No, I doubt Barry went up. Ben would be a good one to check. Have there been a lot of good Bens?
I think so.
Benjamins.
Ben was always a popular
By the way,
name.
can I just say how bad I felt for Ben Roethlisberger? So as we tape this, the Penguins are in the Eastern Conference Final, and Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers quarterback, attended Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final, and he was with his wife, the lovely Ashley, and NBC showed a picture of him, right? And the picture they showed, like the video, must have been at a time when something terrible happened in the game or something unpleasant happened in the game or somebody said something. And there's this picture of Ben Roethlisberger just looking miserable, right? And then this became a GIF that just was like, what happens when you see a bad call? And it was like, and then so finally Ben's social media account, like BigBen7.com, tweeted out like a picture of smiling Ben. Like, if you're going to tweet a picture, here's a happy picture of Ben. And I'm thinking so I see him walking in the hallway after the game. We're going down towards the Penguins dressing room, and he's walking back, and I just go, that picture was cold, man. You needed a better picture. And he just looks at me and is like, yeah. Like that's what stinks about going to a high-profile thing if you're a famous person, right? Because they're going to put you on TV, and you, like, never know, right? Like, I'd be afraid to look. I bet that's why people wear sunglasses inside, Chris. Like at Lakers games, remember when you see like Lakers games?
Oh,
and, like,
you mean the stars?
The stars, yeah, because like
you don't want people
filming you like that.
Yeah.
I have something to add to the name situation because we were talking about it. I remember the story from a couple years ago. This couple from Pittsburgh named their son Malcolm Crosby.
Malcolm Crosby, yeah.
And the tweet here is funny. It's a tweet from the Penguins from February 23rd of 2015, and his brother was going to be named Bo Bennett Long. So I wonder if they've reconsidered that now.
Yeah. That'd probably be.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: if you're going to have a daughter and the Penguins finish this run, maybe name her Flower. Build Flower into her name. It'd be like a nod to like the old 60s, but
you'd spell it differently.
Yeah.
Flower.
Fleuer. You could do Fleur.
Yeah.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. By the way, you should check it out. We did a video with Putin. Putin. That's right.
Putin.
I got to be careful about this with
Not
my
Putin.
Russian ties. Yes.
But Putin, right?
Putin might have
a
seen
lot of
our
people
Putin.
call it poutine.
Poutine. Yes. You liked the poutine?
I did. I liked
Yeah.
poutine.
So our friends at Everybody Craves, I think they're doing some recipes for poutine, Canadian delicacy dish. So check that out too. But yeah, I have no problem naming something after. I mean, look, they named penguins after some of the penguins, right? Which only seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
At
sure,
the
for
aviary.
sure. Yeah.
So and Phil's awesome, isn't he? Isn't Phil
love Phil.
Isn't Phil the athlete we need? We know you love Phil. It's
Yeah.
a little creepy and dirty when you think about it.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, what would
Not a
Phil
lot.
Kessel think about Burger Week? He'd be the ultimate judge for Burger
Hell
Week.
yeah.
That would be the best spokesperson.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like he'd be really able to tell us.
Can you get a good burger in Pittsburgh?
Well, Tesaro's, but they're more like the Italian hamburgers.
You can get a lot of burgers, and a lot of places will say, "Oh, we've got the best burger," and some of them are good. Sometimes I think they go too far. Like, look, Burgatory is very popular. In
It's
Pittsburgh.
a lot, though. It's a
lot, and it's so much. There's just so much extra crap there. I just want a hamburger.
Yeah, I tell you, what makes a really good burger. Underrated is the Clark Barn Grill at the
yes,
on the
they
north
do
side.
actually.
They make a very
Yes,
good.
they
It's
do.
a it's a
And that's
very
not that's not because we work.
No, they make a very. I
They
tell people all the time, like
legitimately
it's
are
a
good,
very good. See, I think if your hamburger does not literally bleed grease into the bun, then it's not a good hamburger.
I agree.
Like
I
that
agree.
hamburger should be like you should walk away from that thinking like, oh, I could run my hair through my hair right now and never have to use gel again for the next.
Well, that's
week.
a medium rare burger.
Yes.
And that is the best.
Yes. Well, there's no reason to not have a medium rare burger.
See, I disagree with both of you. I used to like burgers like that, but anymore, like at Burgatory, love the milkshakes, like everything else there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the gourmet burgers anymore because they're too greasy for me. Give me a Whopper any day. I'd rather have a Whopper.
I can understand not
my
wanting the
God.
gourmet burger, but how do you cook? How do you want your burger meat prepared?
Like Burger King makes it.
You want it burnt and
I like the
Jill,
the flame
crusty.
grilled.
I know that you're going to hear a lot of people in your life tell you that everybody deserves an opinion, but on this one you don't. You're wrong.
That's what I like.
You are wrong. And if you agree with Jill, you're wrong. Anybody listening to our podcast or going to our site, upgruv.com, I'm just going to say we are pro greasy burger.
I'm pro greasy burger and I'm pro medium rare, but I certainly respect that she's cool. She's cool to have that.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
All right.
Just I never used to be, but anymore, just personal
She's
preference.
made the decision, Chris, to go against the right way of thinking.
Well,
she knows the better side and has chosen wrong.
but see, to me, your burger ends up so dry. It's not. There's no.
If you
juice
want a
in
hockey
there.
puck on a bun, I can bring in a hockey puck and give you a bun.
I don't know. Like I don't like like Wendy's. I don't do McDonald's, but Burger King, like with a slice of cheese, some mayo, and some lettuce.
You don't.
That's
it
my
doesn't
hamburger.
I'm
bother
fine
you?
with a simple burger, but not.
The flame grilled, I think, is what makes it so good to
Well,
me.
the flame grilled is good, but you can still get it juicy inside.
You know, it's not really flame grilled.
Shut up, Rob.
Like they do it like everybody else, and then they just kind of at the end put it on a flame. Oh yeah, flame grilled.
They paint those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Dairy Queen. I like Dairy Queen's burgers.
Oh yeah, Dairy Queen burgers are
The
awesome.
brazier,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
I will agree. But see, it has to be a juicy burger, or else it just tastes.
I don't understand the point of
my cafeteria when I was in grade school.
No,
burgers
see, I
and
disagree.
steak would be juice.
Absolutely,
Steaks, definitely. Nice medium steak is my favorite.
Medium. Oh,
Medium.
Rare.
I go rare.
There's got to be some.
I want
going on.
I'm to the point now where it's like if they would serve me the cow, I would just kill it myself and be like, warm it up a little bit and let me go.
Too raw is too raw.
Yeah, I get squeamish.
Yeah,
if it's
not
too
me.
red.
I like that. I like that visceral feel, like I'm actually killing the animal in my mouth.
Rob has these carnal thoughts
yes.
when he goes top down on a steak.
Yeah, pretty much.
For Jill, it's Kessel. For you, it's a steak.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right, well,
okay, yeah. I'm like, come here, Cal. Let me paint your hooves before I just end you. What are you doing, Rob? I'm making dinner.
that's a live cow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is, for now. Bessie ain't going to play much longer. So Burger Week, though, if you got good burger suggestions, let us know. Tweet us at upgruv.
Yeah, where do you get the best burger in Pittsburgh?
Tesaro's is tough to beat. I'm an Italian hamburger guy, though. Our burgers are a little different than.
What makes an Italian hamburger?
Well,
I have had Tesaro's.
It's more of a ground meat with fried as opposed to like on a grill or in a frying pan. It's more like deep fried, and we tend to serve it more with like almost like without a bun, but with potatoes. And like it's almost like it's well, it's not healthy. It would make the classic American hamburger look healthy. That's what it is. That's why our food's better.
That's why it's good.
Yeah,
I think that just means I have to go to Tesaro's again to have another burger.
We should make a upgruv trip to Tesaro's.
Yeah,
I would
sounds
be
good.
okay with that.
And then if the interns start texting during it, we'll be like, "Get out!" and tell them to find their own way home.
Then we won't have a ride home because they'll be the ones.
I'm not driving if it snows.
We know that. That's why there were no snow caps. Jill had gone to the movies before, and she's like, "Get rid of these snow caps! I can't have anything with it.
I can't look at them.
I can't deal
Going back to snow caps, aren't snow caps dark chocolate?
with
little white
Fuck dark
dots on
chocolate. I don't do dark chocolate.
You're so. I'm telling you, she's wrong on a lot of things today.
burgers to
No, dark
snow
chocolate
caps?
is just too bitter.
I mean, I agree that dark chocolate is not my preference, but
See, I
there's
like
room
dark
for
chocolate.
it.
Make white chocolate snow caps.
If
and
you would dip a live cow in warm hot chocolate and let it harden, I'd be home.
Oh God, I think I'm gonna
Chocolate covered burgers.
Chocolate. Ooh,
Wait a minute.
We're on to something now.
Good ideas.
We're on to something now. They have deep fried Oreos. We can have chocolate covered burgers. So, all right. Anything else this week on upgruv land? What's coming up? We're getting close to the Arts Fest, aren't we?
Absolutely, it's coming up.
So,
A few weeks.
So buy some rain gear.
Get your umbrellas.
Yeah, it's a shame that always happens.
I don't know. We were there last year. We
Yeah.
stopped over, and it was hot as hell.
Yeah.
So it wasn't raining. It would have been great.
By the way, if you're going, I look forward to it because of the chocolate covered strawberries there at the Arts Fest.
I
They have
know,
that one booth.
We found those.
Yeah, those are.
We'll seek them out.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I think those would end wars. Like if you showed those ISIS people the chocolate covered strawberries, you'd be like, "Yeah, we're out. We're with Go America."
But you can have these if
Yeah.
you stop your Okay.
Yeah. By the way, also on upgruv this week, the story I saw the possibility that we might not be able to take electronic devices onto planes is like gonna really like this seems like it's gonna be more likely than not that we're not gonna be able to take like either pads or laptops because of some of the information they're getting about potential terroristic bombs, which would really change the game for travel.
But that's just to Europe, right?
Well, but I got to imagine if it's coming,
it's going to go everywhere.
It's going to go
think,
everywhere,
right? I mean,
that's going to be a game changer, though. Like you're not going to want to travel with children. Well, I mean, how did we used to do it? We brought books.
You bring a book and you bring a coloring book or whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, this may save the print industry.
There you go.
Yeah.
They should do something about like putting news on paper.
Yeah.
And
but you're going to be able to bring smaller devices with different batteries. So when you want to check upgruv on a plane, you can still be able to do it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
As long as you can do that.
I think this is just a way for them to not pay for Wi-Fi on planes.
Well, most of them don't. Most of them make you pay.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this like they want to take it
They
off.
don't even want to have the Well,
that's what
possibly.
I think. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist,
No,
but
not
I
at
am.
all.
So
Right.
that was my upgruv story.
That was good.
So all right. Jill wants a Whopper with Phil
Kessel.
She wants a Whopper. She wants Phil Kessel dressed in a what would we call them?
Romper.
A romper delivering a Whopper. That's like her. That's her wet dream happy place.
I don't even know what to say.
I think I just said enough.
I think somebody needs to turn a hose on me.
Yeah. All right. So until we come to you next time talking about a Lord knows what, I am Rob Rossi.
I'm Chris Pastrick.
I'm Jill Leonard.
This has been We're Talking Here. Please go to upgruv.com. Go to upgruv on your apps and check us out. We appreciate it.
The Upgruv podcast was recorded at Trib Total Media Studios in Pittsburgh.